Sportswire Radio, I talked about a changing of the guard. We had on our first UK wrestlers in more than 5 months. But tonight, a man that has been a topic literally night after night for weeks on Sportswire Radio returns. But not only does he return, he's got some announcements to share. He's got some other things, and I have no idea what I'm in store for. And he might even talk about who, I don't know. Maybe a man that he was in a room with that maybe helped decide the presidential election. Because after all, our guest is in the state of Pennsylvania, which many people would say decided the 2024 United States presidential election. We'll talk about that. We'll also talk about wrestler after wrestler that wants to be a part of this wrestling super show, the first of its kind. We'll definitely talk about those who's who of people, and I'm sure many others that'll pop in tonight that I'm sure will maybe make their case directly to our guest. Boy, in some ways, our guest may have some tougher decisions than even the next commander-in-chief, the 47th president of the United States. Because after all, I mean, to book a wrestling super show, nevertheless, at a wedding, his own wedding, I mean, there's going to be some decisions, some tough decisions. He's going to certainly have to make some cuts that you might want to say, well, it's going to certainly make some people unhappy, especially some wrestlers or two. We'll talk about that, plus I'm sure your comments, everything else in between. We are now here in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage, a platform that our guest helped build. And we finally now have on a guest that can safely say his bank account might be bigger than mine, but after he gets married next year, we might want to see then who's got the bigger bank account. But until then, let me give our guest that introduction that he deserves. And since he's now declared himself a monthly regular on Sportswire Radio, I have to out-top the last intro he got. And I have no doubt, especially since he is getting married in now less than 1 year, and a who's who of people are going to want to be there. Everybody's here looking at him in the spotlight. I'm going to give him that introduction that I know he's been waiting for, maybe even the missus is waiting for. So let's get this show on the road here on Sportswire Radio in the second of two shows in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage, as I stated, where all wrestling matters. So with that, wait for it. Further ado, here on the Sports Report, number one cable sports show. A man that was in the same room as Elon Musk. A man you've seen him in promotion after promotion. He's a Bitcoin billionaire who's on the verge of making wrestling history. His name is, simply put, the Bitcoin billionaire my friend, how are we doing?
Oh man, I'm still a little sick, as you can hear. But other than that, I'm doing great. It's gonna be a wonderful night tonight, I would say.
Pressure not getting to you. No, obviously you're in the state of Pennsylvania. I know you've been in the same room with Musk not too long ago. Maybe you stayed up all night. Maybe you and Musk were huddling over the presidential results. Obviously, I'm sure you and him had a few things to say about what happened yesterday. I mean, obviously, I know it's been a tough last, 24 to 36 hours from you. So I can understand, obviously, why you're a little bit under the weather and maybe just, huffing and puffing here, good sir.
Yeah, it's definitely been a very memorable night, I would say, last night. And I'm not going to get into any specifics, but I have my opinions, and I don't want to get this show political now. So
Yeah, listen.
like that.
It's funny. Well, it's funny you said that. One of my very good friends, Barry Gutman, who
Yes.
Barry and I worked in politics. We actually got a man elected by 13 votes, David Starobin, and he was saying we got to do a show. We got to do a show in the elections. I'm like, I don't know, Barry. I don't know. I really want to divide the community further. Then other guys who I won't name were like, no, you've got to do this. You've got. And I'm like, no. I don't know. So I'm going to say I'm going to be with you. I'm going to plead the fifth on that. Obviously, we'll certainly let everybody decide who they liked, and whoever won, God bless, and we'll certainly wish them nothing but the best. And certainly
Yes.
the 47th president of the United States, obviously he was the winner. So, but I guess I'll ask you here to start things off maybe in a way in politics, but it'll certainly work our way into what we're going to talk about here shortly. So for those that are listening and watching here in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all wrestling matters, what in God's green earth were you doing in the same room with the aforementioned one and only ex-owner Elon Musk?
See, it's not really a very complicated story. As if you guys follow social media, you know that Elon Musk has been doing town halls in
Yes.
support of Donald Trump.
Yes.
And the town hall he was doing it in was in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And
Okay.
Harrisburg is about an hour to an hour and a half away from me. And it was
Okay.
free as well. So
Oh, okay.
I
So you didn't have to
I
spend
was
any of your
like,
Bitcoin billions.
no,
Then. None of the billions.
I was
Lucky
like
you.
going to see someone that I would say like look up to in a sense when it comes to a lot of his inventions and
Sure.
a lot of things he's done in technology. It was
Absolutely.
kind of a like I gotta go see Elon Musk. It's like one of those things. And it was definitely a very memorable experience because it's like not every day you could say you were in the same room with one of the richest people on the planet. And he was taking questions, and I was two away from asking Elon Musk a question. And some of those questions that those people asked, it was something else.
Well, I think if I was in that room with my actual political Rolodex, I actually think I would have got you to ask that question to him. You should have asked me. You should have texted me while you were there. I would have maybe pulled a string, called my state senator, called my assembly member.
I sent you a photo, Tom. So
you sent me a photo, but you didn't call me or you didn't text me while you were there because I probably, listen. With all kicking the ballistics for a second, breaking the fourth wall, I do know my state senator. I do know my assembly member. I know my former congressional member. I know a city council member, my next door district to me. I mean, I'm sure I could have asked them, and they probably could have pulled a string or two there.
And also, one of the coolest things that happened at this town hall was we were in line, and I got interviewed for a new Norwegian newspaper.
Oh, wow. Norwegian newspaper. It's such a thing.
This guy came from Norway, and he was interviewing people on why they were there. And I had a full stand up interview with this man.
So did he know who you were? Did he know about the wedding invitationals that you're doing? About that now?
Unfortunately, not. I don't think he would be able to make it because he's kind of far away. I would say Norway's quite a distance in comparison to a lot of these other people that live in like North Carolina and Georgia.
I do remember as a kid growing up in Brooklyn, we had a former Norwegian community basically adjacent to where I lived, and we used to we still have it, but it's not what it used to be, a Norwegian Day Parade, and it would be like a big deal. Yep, in Bay Ridge, we would have the Norwegian Day Parade, and it was a big deal, and I remember actually going to it as a kid, so sure.
Yeah, it was really, it was definitely a worthwhile experience, I would say, just to hear what he thinks of what the world or what America is coming to and what he thinks. Getting to hear his knowledge and everything. But
Hmm.
what I remember one of the questions, it was like this lady was trying to invite him to a cult in a sense.
Oh,
And I was
well, that'll
like,
work. I'm
I,
sure he'll certainly clear up his schedule to go to that. I'm sure that'll work.
he did say that if he could teleport, he could, but he has 17 jobs, so he can't do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I'm sure that he'll give a rain check and maybe get back or give
Yeah.
him an IOU. But I was thinking, Mr. Wakefield, that you were going to be one of those people that Mr. Musk was paying $1 million to go and vote. I was thinking maybe you were. That's why you were there.
Listen, the extra $1 million would be nice, I would say, but I was unfortunately not a winner of
Ah,
the
you missed
giveaway.
out on that one, huh? Just a little bit outside. They might want to say.
Yes.
Okay, well, obviously, we certainly appreciate the story on Elon Musk, and obviously, Mr. Musk was a busy man, and I'm sure one of these days we'll get him on Sportswire, and
Who
I'm sure
knows?
he's busy. You never know, but okay, so we'll leave that at that. But I want to certainly talk about some of the things we have to share tonight. We do actually have a number of things I want to share, but I want to maybe go first and tackle how it's maybe a lot more difficult for you to put this show together because wrestler after wrestler, and I see some wrestlers here that I'm sure are going to want to petition their way into this, and we've heard from a few of them over the past week or so, and that they want to be at not only your wedding invitational, but to wrestle in your wrestling's wedding invitational for your own, the Chase Wakefield wedding invitational. So I'll start it off with that and saying, what is your response to wrestler after wrestler, especially the likes of the Nemesis, James Taylor, Jacob Frost most recently, Big Tex, a man you share a locker room with, and even guys today in the UK, they were saying, yeah, Rico Justice and A-Dog, the Alpha A-Dog, the CCW Tag Team Champions of the World. They wanted to be at this, and they don't want it to be at it. They wanted to wrestle at it. So I ask you then, so how are you dealing with all these demands from all these wrestlers now?
Man, first of all, I gotta say a huge thanks to you, Tom, for plugging the show almost every single night. It's something that I didn't ask, and
You're probably now like not wanting to thank me because like now
but
I'm sure there's a lot of people here that are like, I want to be a part of this, and they're going to be mad, I'm sure, because you can't book 55,000 wrestlers out of
yeah,
this.
but I truly appreciate it for everyone that does want to partake.
Sure.
Um, right now we have over 30 plus wrestlers on this card,
Wow,
so
that's a lot.
it is very just getting those guys on a singular card is very difficult. And I was talking to a GBYWN guy who used to be a part of these super shows,
Ah,
and he was talking about having the same situation where everyone, like, you have 50 million people on the roster, but only 1 day or 2 days to film, and it was really a headache for them. But I will say this, if you do plan on coming to the wedding and you are not booked or anything like that, do not feel down. Don't feel anything like that. Make sure you just bring your gear because you never know. It is wrestling and cards do change from time to time.
hard subject to change.
And you never know when that opportunity does come and you might have the opportunity to wrestle at a wedding. And I feel like there is going to be some envy on a few people. Some people might be like, I'm one of the best, and why didn't
Right,
this guy
right.
invite me? And it's like, it's just one of those things where it's more of a personal choice as well, not more or less a, uh, like, I'm taking this more personally than business
Okay.
associated. And it's more or less a lot of these guys are guys that have impacted my life or have
Sure.
impacted my wrestling career. And hell, there's even some guys on this card that I've never met yet, and I'm taking the chance on having them come and perform and getting
A lot of
to meet them.
pressure on you. You're getting married at the same time. You certainly got to keep the soon to be future Mrs. happy. And then you've got to book this show where you said already so far, I'm about to put the poster up, over 30 plus wrestlers already
Yes.
booked. That's on top of what every night on Sportswire is going to be going on here for the next several months.
Yeah, it's definitely not an easy thing to do, and it's something that if everything goes to plan, I'm gonna be pretty proud, I would say.
You should be proud. I mean, to attempt to do something like this again, to get married and hold a wedding super show like this. That's why it's called the Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational. I mean, it's a lot of pressure there, and you almost have this tough decision as the soon to be next president because you have to keep all these wrestlers in line and keep them happy. And like I said, you're going to be here every month. You've stated you want to be here every month until you get married. And you're going to hear this every night. You're going to hear the footsteps. You're going to hear from Omen Black, Soldier GP. Where's my invite? You're going to hear from the likes, I'm sure, James Taylor. We mentioned him already. Where's my invite? You're going to hear from the likes of, I don't know, Big Man Cam. Where's my invite? You're going to hear Jake Dvorak. Where's my invite? You're going to hear guys like from CCW coming on. Brad Coleman from the UK Saturday. You're going to hear from all these guys. Jimmy Controversy comes on. I mean, I can keep going down the list, and you're going to hear from these guys. I got to have my invite. Where's my invite? And if you don't invite them, you're going to certainly, I'm sure, not make them happy. So it's a very difficult thing that you got to go through, good sir.
So I will say this, that if this wedding show becomes very successful and it
You can't keep
performs
getting married every year, though. You
Yeah.
know that, right?
I was honestly thinking of converting the wedding invitational into something more than just a wedding invitational.
That's
Maybe
interesting.
a few more shows. Maybe, who knows? Maybe convert this into an actual federation at some point, so I can
that's
so I can actually get some of these
bold.
people like Big Man Cam, James Taylor, guys that can't.
I mean, Sean
be
Jovi
official.
last night, we were talking about you with Sean Jovi because Sean Jovi's now announced that he wants to do his own super show with RCW, his old championship belt, and basically reimagine it, reignite it, and have this wrestling super show potentially next year. And I mean, it's kind of, again, everybody wants to do now a super show. You have this weekend, we're going to be a part of the Backyard Havoc. Friday, we have coverage for that. Summer Bash is already announced for next year. IMF is hosting that. We just had Shocky's House Party in Buffalo. I mean, we just saw the Backyard Brawl between WC and STBW. Everybody now is doing super shows, and you're the one that very well might have the most pressure.
Yeah, and it's more or less pressure in the sense of trying to get to the best as I can when it comes to a show. And sure, there's a lot of pressure for it, but I've been in a lot of pressure situations in my life, especially being from in college at 17, from doing all kinds of things. And I feel like you just got to take it one foot at a time, one step.
Yes, one day at a time. Yes, it's certainly baby steps, but this is your life at the same time.
Yeah.
This is your life, and you're basically have someone else also because you're getting married to your obviously better half to go put up with this, and you now have all these different ideas and you have demands. Like I said, I see people here in the chat. Where's my invite? We'll get to them, and people are here and they're saying hello, and like you said, you're not going to be able to book everybody.
No, and if I had a whole weekend of doing a super show, then I could get a lot more people. But
Sure.
again, if the show works out and everything goes into plan, who knows? We might be seeing more super shows, or we might see this grow into a federation out of all things.
Listen, you never know. But before I do anything else, because I see some people here, some new people, different people. If you're on Instagram, this is Chase Wakefield's Wedding Invitational IG. Go out there, give him a follow, and it's going to certainly have pretty much everybody out there. You're going to have wrestlers from the independent circuit, the underground. You're going to have the Backyard, the GBYWN Day. You're going to see a lot of familiar faces from here, I'm sure, and just so many other places that obviously we're going to certainly figure out who and when and where and what are. going to be a part of this. But if you like I said, if you like to go follow, go out and support. That's the Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational Instagram page, and you can see a few of the matches already. Which is the first one here, which is again Sugar Stan Stofsko. I know Dan Stofko very well, former baseball player, become very successful in the independent wrestling circuit. He's going to be here. We got Eric Black, another guy I know very well, and Naeem the Dream Brooks. I mean, that's a banger of a match. And obviously, yes, and for the wedding of the Chase Wakefield and his better half. And then a guy that I was speaking to not too long ago, the Blaze Ace Christian, who's been killing it on the independent circuit in his own right. And there's going to be a few more things we're going to share on the screen here in a few minutes. So obviously, I just wanted to put these things up and let everybody certainly wetten their palate a bit. And this is Chase's page. Give him a follow, and I hope that you enjoy the conversation here tonight with us.
Yeah, I will say this, Tom.
Yes.
I will kind of get into the nitty-gritty of these two matches so far because everyone wants to know what's the story about these two.
Well, let's do it because you have new people here that probably kind of curious. So let's go with Dan Stofko first, Eric Black,
Yes.
and Naeem the Dream Brooks. Dan Stofko I interviewed about 9 months ago. Guy has really come a long way in a short amount of time. And tell us here for the audience what we can expect to start.
Oh, yes, for sure. So we have this triple threat here. We have Naeem the Dream Brooks, who is a graduate of Ricardo Rodriguez's Three Legacies School.
Yep. I've seen him in EBW and some other places. Yep.
He is probably one of the best prospects in the tri-state area when it comes to pro wrestling. In my honest opinion, this guy can hit on some amazing cutters, I would say. He does the handspring Jay Lethal cutter, and it looks phenomenal.
Another local guy from Jersey. Yep, okay.
Yes. And then you have the current Amplified World Champion, Eric Black, who is quickly becoming one of my favorite wrestlers, period.
Love Amplified.
The way that he looks, the way that he walks, the way that he talks is nothing but superstar. And he's been on GTS, he's been in Amplified, he's been in LTW, he's been pretty much everywhere when it comes to the tri-state area. And then you have Dan Stofko, a man that I met at the Fight for a Cure, the first one.
That was in February, I think.
And this man showed me so much positivity and love for someone that just met. And he definitely has that potential of being a superstar for sure.
Yep,
and he only has the look.
He was a college baseball player, only really became a wrestler about a year or so ago, give or take.
Yeah, I did not know he had to play college baseball, which was really cool whenever I found out because I was listening to the interview he had with him a couple months ago.
He talked about that, He was a baseball player.
I feel like this is a great, I would say, get your appetite going for this show. And I feel like these three will absolutely kill it. And I expect nothing less from the three of these guys. And it's the first time ever, I would say. These guys have never went one-on-one with each other. So that's kind of the goal when it comes to this show is have every match be a first time ever, And
well, that's what a super show is supposed to be. You're supposed to see people wrestle that you would have never had a chance to see. We saw that with Summer Bash. We're going to see that with the Backyard Havoc this weekend. We saw it with the Backyard Brawl recently, and the All Wrestling Matters hardcore tournament Riot in the Ring and Shocky's House Party. That's what you're supposed to see.
And I think every single match is going to deliver, but I think this is going to be one of those dark horses, I think, with the styles that all three of these men have. I think it's going to be something you guys would really want to see whenever the show does come out.
And we're going to definitely see that. And again, shout out to the guys. And Dan Stofko is a friend of the show, and he's been here, and I need to get him back on. So that's the first match. And the second match is a guy that all of a sudden I've seen him pop up here in the independent circuit here, especially in the state of Pennsylvania and some other places. That is the Blaze Ace Christian, who's, by the way, the new DBW Hub City champion there. And we'll certainly leave the other half of that out in a little while. But what can we expect here? Because this is another intriguing match because Drew Hood's another guy. I've seen him, if I'm not mistaken, in the Carolinas. I've seen him in the North Carolina independent wrestling circuit, a hotbed. I've spoke about that before. Obviously, Nikki Chuch has been here before, Moses Ireton. And so I've had some of those guys, Aaron Jones, your best friend, I suppose, still in the North Carolina scene there. But what can we expect here?
Man, this match is, I would say, truly a test for the Blaze Ace Christian because he is a rising star in the independents right now. He's been
Yep.
to SSW, he's been amplified, he's been to
Upstate New York,
EHW.
he did a show about like
Yes.
a month ago, so ago, I think.
Yep. And when it comes to the man known as Drew Hood, this man is the hottest thing in the Carolinas right now. This man, if you do not know, has taken the finish from Joe Hendry, which he was the first ever American independent wrestler to take that finish.
Say his
from Joe
name, he
Hendry.
appears.
Yes, and Drew Hood has been a friend of mine for years. I met him back at VTW. I believe it was the Reunion Rumble. I think it was 2018. I think it was. And this man, like I said about Dan Stocko, he's been always positive. He helped me out a lot when it comes to independent wrestling, on how to get your name out there, how to submit specific things to promoters, and he's really been a great help. And whenever I gave him the idea of this show, he loved the idea so much. And I am very excited to see Drew back in the tri-state area and wrestling up here again.
Yeah, I think that that's a great point. That you like to see people wrestle from places that maybe you haven't seen in a while, and especially with that resume. When we have Jimmy Controversy on, we always kind of feel the same way. He's wrestled obviously guys like Pitbull, Gary Wolf, and Tommy Dreamer. So to have somebody here a part of this, we're excited about. Obviously, Ace Christian's a guy that's been here a bunch of times, and he's doing very well. So that's the second part of the match. I know there's a lot of people here in the chat. I'm going to get to everybody. There's a lot of people that want to talk, but those are the first two matches. But I know we have a lot to go through here over the next little while or so. And I'm sure there'll be people that'll definitely want to talk to you directly to maybe plead their case. But I was wondering, good sir, you've obviously given me some information that I might want to share with the audience here. And I know there's a couple of different things. And I was wondering if you'd like me to share something first. You've given me a couple of posters. You've given me some matches. You've given me two to start with that are a promo poster for. Would you like me to start with the first one or the second one to begin with for the audience?
You know what? Let's go with the first match of the wedding.
Okay.
Which is going to be a singles match.
Okay, well, you know what? I have a feeling that this will certainly be an interesting one. So let me go with that here for those that are listening and watching here on Sportswire Radio, because we actually do have the posters. So this is going to be, again, I don't even know what I'm looking at. This is the first I'm looking at it. So we're going to get a chance, all of us here, single-handedly, to see who it is and what. And I'm sure it's going to be a banger, one for the ages. So for those that are listening and watching here on Sportswire Radio in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all wrestling matters here, the third match, as announced here, for the Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational is, oh my. You want to talk about breaking the internet? A guy that's real raw energy against the final boss, the Asher Christ, against the real raw energy, D'Angelo LaFlame. Chase Wakefield, this is one. I didn't see this one coming. I thought you might have told me something completely different, but this is a generational matchup here, figuratively and literally, and let's talk about it for the audience.
Oh, man. D'Angelo LaFlame versus Asher Christ. What can I say about this match?
I'm going to see him this weekend at Bremen, Ohio. He was just at Shocky's house party, Summer Bash. He was a part of Riot in the Ring. Where else can this guy be?
Listen, when it came to outsiders in the community, the first person I thought of was D'Angelo LaFlame, because D'Angelo is becoming one of the best talents in the underground scene, in my opinion. Yep. And I think he really needs someone that can really prove that he is the best, and why not go against the final boss, Asher Christ? And if you look at it on paper, this is almost like a veteran versus rookie
I said
matchup.
generation versus generation matchup. That's pretty much how I described it.
But I feel like the intensity and the I would say the real raw energy in this match is going to be off the charts because these two can go at it and these two will go at it, and this will be the first match of the Wedding Invitational.
Whoa,
So
you're going with this as the opener?
yes, this
This
is
could
the
be the main
opener.
event. You're going with this with the opener? Why?
It could be a main event everywhere else, but with this show,
It's true
this
too.
show is so stacked that it has to.
Every match is going to be a main event. I know what you're going to say. Every
And
match is a main event, but I have to pick one as an opener, and this is a hot one to start with, I'm sure.
yes, and I feel like this match again is going to be one of those dark horses as well because you're going to have a lot of story power in a lot of these other matches, but not a
Sure.
lot of people in at least in my area have ever heard about D'Angelo Flame. So they're
Yeah,
going into this where they don't know what they're expecting, and everyone knows what the Asher Christ has in store, but no one
sure.
knows what D'Angelo Flame has in store, and that's going to get people intrigued, and that's what's going to really excite a lot of people.
And I think that is exciting because you're seeing two people that haven't been in a ring, and that's the whole point. We just spoke about that a few minutes ago. You're getting that chance. D'Angelo the Flame, I kind of say right now, is just basically what Jack Delta was doing
Yes.
over the past few years. Obviously, we hope Mr. Delta is doing well. We know he's recovering from an injury, but this is basically what D'Angelo is doing right now. He's going to all these different places. We saw him in AWL. We certainly have seen him a part of his home company, Resurrection, for a long time. We've seen him in Summer Bash in Bremen, Ohio, with all the guys in the IMF and WCE, DKW, ROBW, amongst many other places. And, we're going to see him coming up here this weekend once again, a part of Backyard Havoc. He was at Shocky's house party in Buffalo. All those guys, Shocky Boy and Stefan Havoc and Jake Dvorak, Gabe Sayers, Joe Starr, and we've seen him pretty much all over the place, killing it. Riot in the Ring, that was another thing where he went to the finals, and now we're going to see him open the show for your Wedding Invitational. I mean, that's just wild to me.
And it's funny because I've actually known about D'Angelo way before he was on Sportswire, and I found him on Instagram on just a random Instagram.
He's got a big
coming
following
out.
on Instagram. That's a good point.
He came out to his theme song, his Jaleel theme song,
Yes.
and it was one of those things that I immediately drew my attraction to, and I was like, I need this guy in my community, and no better
He's
way
a
of doing it.
larger-than-life persona. He gets along with everybody. Everybody loves D'Angelo the Flame. He's just a guy that just you want to be around him. He's like real raw energy.
Yes, 100%. And I think this match itself is just gonna kill it. I would say they're gonna both kill each other and kill the performance.
Well, one's the final boss and one's real raw energy. And considering probably the heat that we're going to probably be dealing with in Pennsylvania next summer, then on top of it, between what these two bring in the ring, yeah, figuratively and literally, I mean, you may not have a ring and you may not have a show afterwards.
Yeah, possibly, and we have 10 other matches, so it's gonna be phenomenal, and I'm so happy that these two are willing to
absolutely
come out.
Two of the very best in our circuit. Obviously, Asher Christ has been doing this a long time, and he recently, about 9 or 10 months ago, was in the ring with the Barbarian. And D'Angelo the Flame has also recently been in the independent wrestling circuit. He's wrestled a few matches in the indies right now, and he's looking to go to greener pastures, and one of those pastures is going to be right here. And that's a really, really, really exciting announcement. I'm going to take this off the screen for a minute because I know that we have another match. I don't know if you want me to go right to the next match, or how would you?
I think we should. I think we honestly
okay.
should.
You sure?
We should get this going.
Free flow here. I feel to quote Naughty by Nature. Feel me flow here. But okay. All right, so we'll put it up here. Give me 1 second. I'm going to pull this up. I can't.
Now,
I can't
if you think D'Angelo versus Asher is crazy, just wait till you see what this match is.
Well, this one I actually know by accident, but I know this one, but I will say that if you're a fan of this platform, you will definitely be very excited about it. It'll have a little something for everybody, almost kind of in a way similar to what we just saw between Asher Christ and D'Angelo the Flame. So we're going to put it up here. This is now the fourth match, the second announcement tonight, but this is the fourth match here for the Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational. So we're going to pull it up here for those that are listening and watching here on Sportswire Radio. And wait a minute, you want to talk about a doozy? I mean, the stepdads? You got Papa Bear and you got Rad Dad against the Bad Sons? No, you could. I don't know how you pulled this one off. I mean, did you have to basically take out some of your Bitcoin billions or what? Because, I mean, you want to talk about generational matchups here? It ain't too often we get the stepdads right now these days, and you got the Bad Sons, and we know them very well, especially if you're a VTW fan. I mean, you want to talk about a match that reflects kind of your personal history and your fandom? I mean, this is basically like the icing on the cake. How did you pull this one out?
Oh, man. So... this match itself is a complete dream match for at least the Bad Sons and for me.
Absolutely.
I've always been told by Tyler Aiken and Ecstatic if they would have one more tag team match, it would be against the Stepdads. And I spoke to Bad Dad. He loved the idea of the wedding.
He did, actually. I can confirm that he did like it, by the way. He thought it was very
everyone seems to love the idea, which I'm so glad because it's still happening.
Yes, even Sick Rick, by the way, he's praised it, by the way. I can say that because he's coming back on to the show, so I can say that.
As for the match itself, you can't get any better than that. You got the Bad Sons versus the Stepdads. You know, there might be some fatherly, I would say.
Well, we've seen in the past that the Stepdads will. If their opponents get out of line, they will, let's just say, have some fatherly-like tactics there.
Yes, and I really hope the Bad Sons do not change the thermostat because that will end very badly for them.
Now, will you be able to allow the Stepdads to come out to the Full House theme?
Listen, it is the wedding invitational. I do not care about copyright as long as it does not shut the show down on YouTube. They can come out to it, you know.
Well, you got Papa Bear. Now, make sure Papa Bear is not betting on this match because I don't know if you know this, but Papa Bear has become very successful in the sports world and especially in the world of gambling there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a gambler too, so we might have to put a little betting aside here.
Well, we don't encourage betting on sports. I actually will not encourage that.
I plead the fifth of it.
Okay, we don't want to go Pete Rose on everybody here.
I will say that there might be some chips involved, but that's all I'm going to say.
Okay, well, that reminds me of one of my buddies who came on here for my 1,000 subscribers show, Mr. Ross Galloway here. Mr. Galloway, who, let's just say, would go to some places, let's just say in parts of Brooklyn and certain places. I just won't say where and what he was doing. So we'll just say that Mr. Galloway had his experiences, and so do you. But I mean, this is a generational matchup, though. You talk about Ecstatic and Tyler Aiken. We know what they've done in VTW. We've seen them a bit in DBW and what they've meant to you. And to see the Stepdads here, you know, we haven't got the Stepdads as much this year. And to see them here and to see them from your way, this is a surreal moment. This is a surreal moment for you, not only as a fan, but really for the community, because we know what Rad Dad and what Papa Bear have meant to so many people. And to see them here, I mean, this is another match that could easily be the main event.
It honestly could be, and I was honestly thinking of doing it as the main event, but then I remember it is. And
you could have did that because, as we know, the Stepdads, they wrestled not too long ago. How about those guys, the Rock and Roll Express?
Oh yes, oh my, absolute legends.
And they wrestled them in New York, in my state. They wrestled them. I mean, so these guys have proven, and we know what Rad Dad has done in GTS. I mean, oh my goodness. I mean, this is a man that was the GTS Continental Champion. This is a man that he's been right now, I think, at the top of his game. He just tag teamed with Gabe Sayers not too long ago. I mean, so the fact that this could be a main event anywhere, and you have it here, and who knows where it could be. I mean, just, boy, I mean, I wouldn't want to be you in making all these matches.
It's been a journey, I would say, with everyone that...
And I think I've only gotten started, good sir, because you're supposed to be here every month.
It gets better. It gets better.
Well, the best is yet to come. I have no doubt about that. But so the two announcements here so far. We have a couple of other things here we'll get to. Plus, I have a surprise for you coming up here in a few minutes.
Okay.
Is that we're going to see here at the Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational. It was announced here about 10 minutes ago that we're going to see D'Angelo the Flame, the real Raw Energy, against the final boss, Asher Christ. That's going to be the opening match. Then we're going to see here also at some point on the show in today's menu, we're going to see the Bad Sons, who consist of Tyler Aiken and Ecstatic. We know what they've done, certainly. And the Stepdads, Papa Bear and certainly Rad Dad. It's going to be, I mean, you want to talk about tag team matches off the hook? It's going to be here. So you're going to definitely want to be at the Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational. This is what the two matches we've announced here tonight. And we have two other matches already announced. We've got, of course, the Blaze Ace Christian. He's going to be wrestling against Drew Hood. And we've also got in a triple threat, that was the first match announced, Eric Black, Naeem the Dream Brooks, and Dan Stovko, Sugar Dan Stovko. And, of course, Eric Black is the Amplified Wrestling World Champion. I mean, boy, this is just, I don't know how Chase Wakefield is doing it. Maybe he is talking to Elon Musk. Maybe he's on the phone with him, certainly planning this show. Who knows, whatever it is. But we obviously want to thank the Bitcoin billionaire to be here to talk about this historic show, which I think is going to be one of the better super shows we're going to see in this generation. So we definitely want to say hello to everybody out there. I know we're going to have a surprise or two, but first, let's get to the chat. Zilla's been waiting patiently for this. She would like to say hello. How you doing?
Hello, Zilla.
Zilla was here with my UK friends earlier to the CCW Tag Team Champions of the World, A-Dog, the Alpha, and also Rico Justice, who looks totally different from the last time I spoke with him. But he was here over a year ago, and now he's got gold, he's got a fancy suit, and he's elite. But you know what? I got to cut into the comments because Chase Wakefield, we have a surprise. A surprise from somebody that wants to directly speak to you after some comments he made on Friday's show, and you had some things to say about him in the chat. He is here live for a special appearance, and he is here, the legendary ROEW owner, the nemesis James Taylor, who's on a break from making those Stone Cold TikToks and figuring out who's better between LeBron James and Michael Jordan. The nemesis is here. Give me a, oh, hell yeah. And my friend, how are you doing, and what brings you here? And certainly to speak with Mr. Chase Wakefield about this historic, monumental occasion.
Well, thank you, Tom, for the introduction. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Taking a quick little break. Taking a quick little break. And Mr. Wakefield, pleasure to meet you. See you in person. I hear that you have this wedding invitation show spectacular that you want to do. When is this fiasco supposed to happen?
He said fiasco! He said fiasco! Sparks are flying already on Sportzwire!
So, the date of the actual filming, because who knows when it'll be fully edited. I gotta talk to an editor. But we're aiming for the last weekend of August.
Right before Labor Day weekend there.
Where will this take place?
Oh, man, that is a great question because I've been in search of different venues. I'm looking at 3 different states right now, but I'm more projecting towards the Pennsylvania area.
Okay. That sounds intriguing. Keep me posted and let me know. I mean, never say never, right? I wouldn't,
yes.
I wouldn't mind showing up, and if you want me to make an appearance and say hello.
I will be so glad to see you if you do come. It will be it'll be a great moment, I would say. And
my God, it would be one of the greatest moments in history. A man, James Taylor, who has almost 140,000 followers. I mean, this man has followers that are more than WWE wrestlers on NXT right now. And if he were to show up to this, I mean, it would literally break the internet. I mean, it would break TikTok. I got the sirens going off here in New York City already. They're thinking about James Taylor coming to Pennsylvania, and he's coming to the Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational. Oh, hell yeah.
Never say never. And if we truly want to make it even more special, James, the invitation is out.
Oh, my God. James Taylor's been invited. James Taylor's been invited. What? Well, he's been invited. Yes. Give me a hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Well, I know you're a busy man, Mr. Taylor. You're obviously getting ready for ROEW press conferences. You've obviously got strategy sessions with the media department. You've obviously got to worry about Jason Storm. You've got to worry about Big Man Cam. CJ Black is a good guy now. So I know obviously you're a very busy man. You're getting ready to obviously buy some more supplies for ROEW.
Yeah, he's shopping.
And obviously, so we appreciate you being here in such a busy moment here. And yes,
Well, There is something. I'm going to get to it, but I do thank you for the invitation, and I gladly accept the invitation while I look for something real quick. Because
Maybe ROVW social media tools, maybe.
there's something in particular that I always like to keep around or try and get when I need to get a new one. But Mr. Wakefield, I do appreciate the support that you've given me over the past couple of months. It means a lot, and I like your work. You do a really good job at what you do, and I hope that ROEW entertains you. Why can't I find this? And that I'm gonna continue to look. But go ahead. I'm right here. I'm not going
Well,
anywhere
while
for like.
James is here, he's a very busy man. Go follow James on YouTube. He's definitely got a lot more stuff. He got some backyard wrestling footage from his decorated career, those legendary wars back in 99 and 2000 when he had blonde hair before he became the Stone Cold TikTok influencer. If you love cats, James certainly got many of them. He's obviously also thinking about what he can do with Jason Storm and obviously their wars and Matthew Forsaken. Maybe you're buying some medical tools to maybe give Matthew Forsaken for a previous match, or certainly from blood and guts he's certainly suffered from the ring. And obviously, I know you're certainly taking care. Maybe not. Maybe you're getting ready for a big man cameo, but whatever it is, this is James' YouTube channel. Do give him a follow and please support him. Also, ROEW, make sure you hit that sub button for ROEW. They are definitely doing great things here. They are certainly revolutionizing underground wrestling. They know ROEW Underground, and that's their ROEW YouTube channel. So there you go, there, James. Once you those plugs for ROEW Taylor. Yes, sir.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Now, are we allowed to bring anybody or anything with us if we were to attend this
Yeah, it's a
show?
+1. It is a +1, so you can.
So I'll definitely bring my +1, but I
Jason
like
Storm?
to I always like to bring whenever I go to a new place, I always like to bring protection, and I have no problem.
He's bringing a chair. He's bringing a chair. Are you worried about Jason Storm? Are you worried about Big Man Cam?
I have no problem with protection. These are one of my favorite pieces of protection. So if that's allowed, I'll bring it.
Oh, okay.
Because
I'm definitely gonna take that into consideration.
These guys in the new field, in the new era, just don't know how to use
Oh,
these.
because you're an old
I have
head.
to show them. I'll have to show them how to use this properly.
Wow, James Taylor. Maybe you're worried about Nolan Money McDermott.
Who?
You talking about Anthony Steele 2.0?
No, he's Nolan Money McDermott. Maybe that's why you're bringing the chair. Maybe you want to give him a chair to sit at the wedding.
I apologize, McMuffin. Yes, I'm not aware of him.
That was McLovin. Yeah. You're thinking about McLovin from the Superbad movie, right?
No, that's another guy. He actually has ID.
I respect McLovin.
So
he was getting his lovin', you know.
But Mr. Wakefield, always a pleasure. Tom, thank you for having me, and I will see you gentlemen later on down the road and catch you in the next one.
And that was ROEW owner James Taylor, who seemingly is invited now to the Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational. Chase Wakefield, your life might be flashing before your own very eyes. You just saw James Taylor, and he's apparently bringing some, let's say, supplies to your wedding coming up next year.
I might need some extra chairs for all these +1s, so who knows?
I thought they would just stand. You know, when I'm in politics, we went to all the famous parties. Speaking of catering halls, I would go to the Bay Ridge Manor here. That was always the political place I would go. There would always be plenty of chairs. I would never have to think about bringing the chairs. There'd be so many of them. I would stand most. As a matter of fact, I would stand always in the manor. I never had to go sit. I mean, people knew who I was. I would just be sitting. That would be my own way of sitting was standing. I don't know.
Tom, with the amount of people you're inviting, the amount of people that want to come, I might have to get some extra chairs,
Okay, well, fair enough, but okay, well, thank you for that. I'm just certainly hadn't thought about those, but let's get to some more links. Nolan Money McDermott is not here. I don't know why we're saying hello to him. Omen Block, it is his platform. Would like to say welcome back, Chase Daddy Wakefield. Certainly Big Daddy here. Abraham Storm from North Carolina is here. Abraham Storm, of course, the one and only legendary Abraham Storm is in the house from CSW. We'd like to say hello. Speaking of people that, from my understanding, you had not invited yet to the wedding, Big Tex, who's on the Big Tex Failure Tour, obviously not to be confused with the Taylor Swift Eras Tour. He did tell us on Sunday's show he's not a fan of Taylor Swift, but he is here right now, and Have you invited Big Tex? I mean, we are in Big Tex country right now, technically, because he's on the stream, but he's been failing a lot. So maybe if you don't invite him, is it because he's been on the failures tour and the failures have just been failure after failure after failure? Or is he invited to the wedding invitational or what?
Listen, I love Big Tex. I love me some Big Texas, but
Yeah.
it's just like I said previously. It's just one of those things. I've already had so many people in that when I started thinking about other people, it just couldn't fit in, and it made me think maybe I should just have like a battle royale or something with a lot of these guys. But that might be a possibility, but Tex is definitely invited. I just
He's
don't.
invited.
I just cannot promise him a spot on.
Well, he's obviously not been winning championship matches. Is that part of it because he hasn't been winning in title match after title match? Is that a part of it, especially after what he did to your old tag team partner, Silas Walker, who, oh, by the way, Silas Walker had a few things to say about your wedding invitational also. Maybe that have something to do with it?
Listen, it might be that, or it just might be a lapse of judgment on my end. It might be just too many people too quick.
Oh, fair enough. I don't know why Zilla's saying hello to Nolan McDermott. He's not here yet. But speaking of people that also was addressed with this, a man from the Cornhusker State, a whiskey star, a bronze bulldog, a man who knows a little bit about the GBYWN, and I'm talking about Jacob Frost. What do you want to say about Jacob Frost?
Jacob Frost, what a guy, I would say.
I know very well.
I've been talking to him over the past few days.
Good.
And
give my regards.
I did not know he was Pro Wrestling Foot Stomp, which kind of blew my mind whenever it was shown.
Yes.
And I'm so glad that he is here to see the insanity that will be coming in later tonight.
Well, we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it here after the comments. And
I've been watching Jacob Frost for years. I watched him back when he was in MEBW.
Correct.
That's actually how I found out about Jacob Frost, was from MEBW, and then I looked into more of his stuff at BTW, and I loved his style, and he might be a good name to add on to the invitational list. Who knows?
He's a big boy. He's a power lifter. I would certainly not want to be on his bad side. And apparently, he's certainly seemed like he's garnered some interest from some guy named Justin Parsley. Just saying. Don't know much about history is, but seems like he's garnered some attention from this guy, Justin Parsley.
I do listen, Justin Parsley. I do not want that name here right now.
And that's a good idea, especially after Mr. Parsley's name, what it carries, or certainly around this circuit. So, very smart idea, and it certainly goes off what we've been doing on Sportswire, rather focusing on following wrestling pages like Pro Wrestling Foot Stomp. There it is, over 10,000 followers. Go and join. Hello there to Abraham Storm from Zilla. Soldier GP's, and that's another person. I told you got Soldier GP, Omen Blacker here, and those are guys that carry a lot of weight and clout. I wonder if they're going to be on the show.
I can't say anything, but
okay.
I wish.
You wish. Okay, well, you know what? We'll certainly say, stay tuned. Stay tuned. We'll move on here. Yes, hello there. Zilla says hello to Soldier. We love Soldier. Soldier was here yesterday. Speaking of people, by the way, as we take this off the screen, now this individual, who I know you know very well, and he is certainly making quite a name for himself throughout the independent wrestling circuit, and he's friends with Rad Dad, by the way.
Yes.
Destin Victor Glow, who certainly is making a name with those stompers, by the way, and he's been stomping his opponents recently. And what do you want to say toward him?
Man, DVG.
Yes, DVG.
He gave me one of my most unique storylines in DBW.
And he said he's got unfinished business with you. He's got unfinished business.
Unfinished business indeed. And I will be glad to resolve that unfinished business in the future. But as a guy, Dustin, he is a phenomenal dude to be around with. He always brings a lot of the spirits up in a locker room.
Good guy. Yep.
Not only he is a phenomenal announcer, but he is also a great wrestler, and I got to experience that before he was even fully utilized as a wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
And I am so glad that we were able to do what we did in the DBW arena. I think what we did was one of the more better storylines of that year. And I'm very appreciative for DBG. And
Absolutely.
you might have to get an invitation too.
Not only would he do the invitation, you should give him. He could do the introductions.
He could. That's something that has been crossing my mind. I just gotta head over and send him a little message.
He's right here, so you could certainly send it there. Soldier would like to say hello to Abraham Storm, another guy that who's back on Sportswire coming up here 2 weeks from now. Andrew Lovelace, who's from York, and is he invited?
Man, I'm gonna plead the fifth on this, not just because I think we do have to show a poster before
we're gonna get to that when we finish through the chat. We have a lot of people.
For sure,
we're gonna get to. Yep.
But I plead the fifth for now, and we'll see what happens. But Andrew
Lovelace,
well,
he's gonna be here. He's gonna be here with Richie Allen on the 20th, and I'm gonna ask about this. So regardless, he'll be here. We'll talk about it.
I love that Andrew Lovelace, man.
Me too. We love him. And speaking of people we love, the Blaze Ace Christian, Drew Hud in HD versus the Blaze. One for the books.
Yes,
there you go. Hello. Yes, hello. Speaking of people from my state, my home state, the one and only Scorpion the Assassin. Hello to you, Tom. But a bigger hello to Chase. And yet again, congratulations, man. I know the show will be amazing. Now, I have to ask, because a fellow New Yorker, has a fellow New Yorker been invited?
As for Scorpion the Assassin, he is definitely a fellow New Yorker. He is definitely someone I would love to have come to the wedding. But again, it is full.
Okay, well, he is from my state, and I want to say that we love my state, and we love Scorpion. And I think he's told me he's inching closer to coming on Sportswire. Inching closer. He's inching.
He's got to take that step. He's got to take that
it's like counting votes in Nevada, counting votes in Arizona. It takes time. It just takes time. That's how it goes. That Scorpion's about to be appearance on Sportswire. We're counting the days, like counting votes. But we'll move on here. Speaking of people from the great state of North Dakota, who is coming up here on November 16th for all of our friends in LBYW, Napalm would like to say hello. Maybe the guys from North Dakota, he was just on a show with some guy, Kurt Adams. Probably heard of Kurt Adams, definitely a veteran in the backyard wrestling circuit, been in different places, a traveler. So Napalm would like to say hello. You never know. We have some more hellos. Congratulations on Chase Wakefield getting married. Yes, most important part. And speaking of people that want an invite, I told you this was going to happen tonight. My man, Ox McCoy, the IMF hardcore champion of the world, and he says, where is my invite?
Oh, Ox, I will have to say, if I invited you, it might get a little too messy, and I do not want to clean up.
Well, we got time. We got 9 months. I mean, listen,
We do.
All right, here. And Andrew wanted to follow up and say, hey, he can get married every year if he starts a harem.
Oh my goodness!
I'm just gonna move on from that because I don't know enough about that. And there we go here with this binary code, which we've seen before on Sportswire. It's 001010 and a bunch of 001s and a binary code there. I don't know if you have a binary code coming to your wedding, but maybe that's a sign of things to come. I have no idea.
I haven't done binary in years. Oh my goodness!
Well, now you just saw it, and you got it. You got it. Hello there to Ox. Yes, we love the sinners. We love our friends in the IMF who are here next week in your chair. We have IMF 30 Deeds, the following show, which will be Saturday. That'll be Saturday the 16th, and the guys will be here next Wednesday night. And congrats for the engagement, but I don't care about an invite. So I think Soldier maybe doesn't want an invite, but he does congratulate you. But who knows? Maybe he'll want an invite. You never know. Could be a humble way of saying I'm going to be there. I don't know. But I'll certainly move on. The real question is, what wrestler pulls the Jake Roberts and puts a stake in the presents? That's some rib there.
Probably Andrew Lovelace, if he's probably the one that's going to do it if he's bringing it up now.
That's basically, but he wouldn't tip his hand. He's just saying.
Maybe Max Strong will come and do something.
I would say we'll move on from that one. Let's just, if you know, you know. Congrats on the engagement. There's Omen. It is from his show. He certainly congratulates. Vegas Storm. I'll hang on to him. This would be somebody that I think you know. You guys know each other?
Yeah, we know each other very well, I'd say.
Each other very well? Yeah?
Yeah.
Just friends? You guys are just friends like that?
I think it's more than friends now.
You think so? Because it'd say he's just a friend. You sure? You sure? All right. Yeah. Well, all right. Just checking. Omen makes a good point. I'm glad that Summer Bash was able to start a trend in our business. Super shows are left and right. Sounds to me Summer Bash did what it was supposed to do. Big dubs for Summer Bash. You got another comment to follow, which will tie into a couple of other things. Yes, we definitely know where it is. One ring to rule them all. Is that the invitation? But what Omen wanted to follow up, which I think is really the general part, because you've seen all these things: Shocky's house party, the riot in the ring, the All Wrestling Matters hardcore tournament, the Backyard Havoc coming up here Saturday, the Backyard Brawl, and it's really a win for everybody. Everybody's getting a chance to wrestle, and that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, Summer Bash, what you're going to do next year, the GBYWN, It's Not Dead Yet show. I mean, all these different things that are coming back into vogue, it's good for everybody because it's giving guys an opportunity to wrestle. I think that's what it's all about. Shocky's house party we spoke about. The Backyard Brawl, Backyard Havoc Saturday. Again, All Wrestling Matters, Riot in the Ring. And that's everybody's working together and working their butts off. Couldn't agree more.
I agree with that as well.
Yes. Sorry, Chase. I don't think I can make it to the wedding, but she wants to give her invite. Did you invite Zillow already? And she's now giving it to Ox McCoy. Is that possible?
I guess so.
Is that possible in a wedding? I wouldn't know. I haven't been married before.
I'll have to scratch out Zilla's name and replace it.
Okay. All right. There you go. You got that right, Omen. It's definitely reminiscent of the glory days of the BYW. Yes, absolutely. Yes. I think there's a lot of excitement right now, and everybody's playing a huge role in that, and that's what it's all about. LaFlame, you know what it is, brother. I'll do it for them, the 4 up, 4 down. And LaFlame has the cheat code to beat that boss, just saying. So that's who he picks, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of other people who will have a say on that as well. And it's a great match. Hell of an opening match, by the way. I mean, just what a heck of a match. You cannot out-heart me, other person hitting hearts.
Oh, they were spamming the hearts. It was going crazy.
The king of hearts, to quote Owen Hart. Yes, Jack Delta, we hope he's well. We hope he's doing well. Nicholas Crenton's in the house, by the way. Speaking of people that I'm sure you would have to give an invite to from the great state of Wisconsin. Maxwell Reeves, by the way, I don't know if you've invited Maxwell Reeves, but Maxwell Reeves is actually not too far from you. Maxwell Reeves will be here, I believe, around 4:30 tomorrow. So I would say around 4:30. Stay tuned for that one. I think Ox is gassed. Well, I know we're doing gassed in the comments chat.
Me too.
Well, you do this like I do it every night. Let me just say that. And I did one earlier today, by the way. Zilla's rooting for the stepdads, and we explained who the bad sons are. That is Ecstatic and Tyler Aiken. Very well. Hello to James Taylor. James can't touch Jordan. Only thing he can do is dress as a maid at Diddy's house. 1,000% Jordan is the best. Well, I mean, listen, Michael Jordan won 6 championships in a row practically, so I can't argue with that. But LeBron has the longevity, but, look, each to its own. Don't give James Taylor an invitation. He won't show up because that's they've had a long history. That's a clever line there from Soulja. So,
I know a few other people that don't show up too, but we won't talk about a certain individual.
I got a lot of comments here in the chat. I'm gonna move on here. Stop. Don't hype up Taylor. He'll disappoint you. Speaking of people, by the way, I was wondering because we were speaking about this last Monday on the show. The new DBW champion, of course, the man that's a mauler, rocks hard, Mr. Brandon Castelli. If he can make it there, I can make a world title defense. I mean, so has our champion been invited? Another man? James Taylor versus Brandon Castelli. I mean, do you think that
could be good?
And has Mr. Castelli been invited yet? I was kind of confused from last week.
Listen, I'm going to keep pleading the fifth here, Tom.
Okay. All right. I won't ask anymore. I got it. I won't ask. Basically
will be told soon, I would say.
You know who you should invite? I'm going to tell you who you should invite. Non-wrestling related. You should invite the man that I worked under on a radio show for 7 months, Mr. Heshy Tischler. He goes to Pennsylvania all the time. Some of the wrestlers know him. He was on my 1,000 subscriber show. I mean, you should think about inviting
I think I
Heshy
might know
Tischler.
who you're talking about.
Yeah, I tell you what,
I'm watching that.
I can make that happen for you. He's a very influential man. Now, if you want maybe some blessings from the Orthodox Jewish community in Brooklyn, I can make that happen. I can make that happen.
Listen, if Heshy comes, you gotta come too, Tom.
Well, he and I would be on the way because he's in Brooklyn. I'm
exactly
on the way, but yeah,
we've
actually ridden together we've rode together to places. So because we work together. So obviously, let's just say that we'll stay tuned. I don't think those are alarms, more like walls of bedroom, maybe. Hello there to Brandon. Yes, hello there. Chase, you're going to be disappointed. I suppose I do have to give Chase his praise. That's nice.
Oh, thank you, Brandon. Thank you.
Was he at a Walmart? Was that a Walmart or like a CVS? I mean,
it looks like a Kmart out of all things.
Do they still have Kmarts? I didn't know Kmart was such a thing.
I think there's only like one, and that's
because I know here in New York they closed all the Kmarts, but in Brooklyn and Staten Island they don't exist anymore. So that's why I was like, I didn't know there was such a thing. Come on, James Taylor. Yep, we got about that. Hello to another guy, by the way, the Samoan Dragon. I mean, killing it in the IMF here next week, and definitely he's telling us struggle with executing chair shots properly, and he's talking about James Taylor. There you go. If Chase Wakefield would have me, I'd love to have an invitation just to watch, unless he needs me to wrestle, of course.
Oh man, me and Jacob have been talking, and it's very.
I like Jacob.
It could happen. Yeah,
I like Jacob. I like Jacob. That's what I'm gonna say. My brother Drago Malo. Yes, he is here, and thank you for all the praise, Chase. I'll be glad to be there to either watch or wrestle. Moving on. Malo Bloody Uso Oxen Malo, meaning hello to Zilla. Hello. I'm going to confess she now has a crush on Jacob Frost, Silas Walker, and she doesn't think she can date him, the STBW Undisputed Champion, Nolan Money McDermott. So
while you're reading comments real quick, I'm going to grab a drink. It's like
you do that, and I'll have a surprise by the time you come back. Okay. Let me say hello to some people. My main man, Mr. Andre Anamali. How you doing, Andre? What's going on here? Yep, he's here. And speaking of people that appear, Nolan Money McDermott. He has arrived. Nolan Money McDermott. Have you invited him yet or no?
Oh no.
You know who he is?
I don't know who he is, honestly.
What is everybody saying they don't know who he is?
To be honest with you, Tom, I haven't been able to track up with a lot of the BYW underground feds as of late. I think the only few companies I really keep in touch or like try to keep in the loop is ROEW and IMF at this point.
Well, you know what? Great choices, great companies that
no offense.
And by the way, BTW and our friends in BTW,
yes.
company.
No offense to them, but it's just
yes.
I
understand. I understand you're a busy man. You're a Bitcoin billionaire. By the sweat of your face, you shall eat bread until you return to the ground. For out if you were taken, you are dust, and to dust you shall return. Genesis 3:19. Yeah, Genesis. Thank you for corners.
Oh, he spelled that wrong.
Speaking of people here, we got here Silas Walker. Just be careful who you let have a mic when it comes time for the wedding. Remember, there's always somebody that has to speak up, and before you get married, who might want to say their piece, and that's the DBW.
I definitely know not to give it to Silas Walker.
Why not? I would give him the microphone.
Look at the comment. I'm a little.
But you know what though, Big Tex, he's maybe spoken some sense into him, sort of.
Mate, I mean,
look at what he did to Nikki Chooch.
Yeah, that was a great match, I'd say.
Very good match. So the heck of it. That was Copper Dragon. Better rate that one. I gotta get on your podcast. I will do that very soon. I promise you, very soon. Hello there to Silas Walker.
Oh, yep.
Heshy, but you know what? Give me the date when you get closer. Give me the date because Heshy actually might want to go. He loved heading. Heshy is going to, like, no joke. He holds like the Guinness Book World Record of like wedding appearances. He's going he's going to all backgrounds, all religions. You know, he thinks that's going to get him elected to the city council. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I don't know, but He lost last time by like 20 votes, so maybe going to more weddings will get him elected. So, but yes,
maybe.
well, yeah, Heshi will be there probably. Who would win in a fight, Heshi or God? It's God, of course, because you know why God wins? Because Heshi has to observe on Saturdays.
Oh.
Trick question. Heshi, well, no. Heshi's not God. Trust me on that. I know the man. We'll move on though. You all know exactly who I am, Chase. James Taylor didn't know who I was, and I crashed his celebration.
Honestly, I don't.
All these young guys showing up. I think what's the old line? You need a scorecard. Well, you need a scorecard.
Yeah.
But speaking of scorecards here, before we get to the meat and potatoes of what's left of the show, there's one more surprise for you here for a few minutes. You know how you saw James Taylor and he obviously introduced himself to you? Now I've got another person that would like to formally maybe petition his way to the wedding. He's an ultimate Storm.
Oh,
and wait a minute.
Okay.
Storm.
What's
a storm has arrived.
Oh, how are you doing, my friend?
It's the ultimate wedding. He's the ultimate wedding crasher. There, you've got it on Sportzwire. He's the ultimate wedding crasher. The ultimate Storm. Vegas Storm is here.
Hey, guys. How y'all doing tonight?
I'm great, man. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. I'm happy to hear that you're sounding better.
Yes, way better. Way better.
Good, man. That's good.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Tom?
Long time no speak. Do I know you?
I hope so.
Yes. How was your birthday, by the way? How was your birthday?
I had too many drinks. I'm gonna just say that.
Well, you know what? Hopefully you had soda, and hopefully Copper Dragon rated your birthday a 7-star out of 7 stars.
Hope he did. Yes, I had too many drinks, and yeah,
well,
I'm not.
Copper Dragon gave your birthday a 7. Okay.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
So what brings you here? Chase Wakefield's got this wedding invitational. We spoke about this on Friday's show. We unveiled 2 matches, and one match actually of somebody you sort of know, and D'Angelo the Flame. And what brings you here to Mr. Chase Wakefield tonight?
I just want to say congratulations again, man. I know we spoke a little bit the other day. Like I said, I'm not like trying to just show up and just wrestle and only care about that, man. I just want to show up and be like a huge support. I don't care if I have to help referee. I don't care if I have to help call the matches or whatever. Like, I just want to show up and, show my support. So,
Really? Wait a minute. You're just here to show your support. You're like everybody else. I got to be in a match. I got to be in, so you're telling me you're here just for support?
Yeah, I'm not going to show up.
What's the catch? What is it? You want a title match? You want to wrestle somebody? You sure?
I'm positive. I just want to show up in my tuxedo. I want to hop in the ring and count the 3 or count somebody out to 10. I don't have to show up and wrestle unless there's a spot open for me. If there is, then I will humbly take it. Other than that, I would just show up and help referee. I'm not like everybody else. I don't have to just show up just to wrestle. I'm there for the fun, the entertainment, to support my man Chase, and to have a good time.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, you definitely, we spoke like 2 or 3 days ago, and I love your positivity that you bring, and I love what you've been doing. I didn't realize that you wrestled at Intensity, which is kind of crazy. But I would love to have Vegas Storm come out and show the support,
All time, man. I got you. Like I said, I don't have to just show up and wrestle. I don't have to be like everybody else. Like, I'll show up.
You sure? Are you sure? I mean, like, is it April Fool's early? Is there something that missing?
Nope. I mean, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity to show up and actually wrestle at somebody's wedding. Yeah, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. But I mean, I'd rather just show up and, be a huge support to everybody, meet and greet, stick my big toe in and just, get to meet everybody.
And obviously you want to be there for the food. Is that what it is? You want the food?
Yes.
The food too, of course. Yes.
We're definitely gonna have food and drinks. Just for maybe we might even have to drink a little too much and have a.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. If I show up, and I know Heshi because we wouldn't be there long. If he shows up, which we'll say, he's a busy man. I don't drink, so I'll be drinking water or soda. So let's just put it that way.
We'll still do a little toast and
I don't
water.
know toast, but.
Come on, Tom. We got here, man.
I'll tell you what. I do want to toast to. That's Vegas Storm's Instagram. Go give him a follow on Instagram. And are you sure that now if Ronnie Brady goes, you still going or change your mind? Oh, you still would?
Yeah, I'm still going. Yeah.
Anybody you want to meet in particular? You know, Mr. LaFlame was announced for a match. Did you hear about that, good sir?
I just saw that. And congratulations to him. I can't wait to see how that's gonna go. I mean, if I do show up and I meet some of the all-time greats, I think one person I really would like to meet, Omen Black. If he shows up, wow, that'd be great. Is Mr. Black you and Mr. Black with me? That's an interesting combo. You and Omen Black. But I mean, like I said, you show up, you never know what might happen. You might meet somebody that may be able to make things happen for you. You never know. So show up and just meet everybody, shake hands, and count to 3, count to 10.
Wait a minute. I got it. Wait a minute. No. I got this. You just said count to 3, right? Or count to 10. Are you trying? I got you. I know that there's always a catch. Trust me. I'm a businessman. I'm a commissioner of deeds. I'm technically a public official in the city of New York. And it sounds to me like you might want to do some refereeing. It sounds like you might have a referee shirt. So I'm going to just go this and throw it out on a limb. Are you meaning to tell me that you want to referee a match, and maybe a match between somebody you know and D'Angelo the Flame and the final boss, Asher Christ? Is that what you're here for tonight?
We can make it happen.
Maybe.
Special referee. I mean, Shawn Michaels used to be a special referee. That was kind of tell he earned his salary still. Is that what you're trying to tell me tonight? That you're actually the one guy, you know what? I don't want to wrestle. I'll referee, and you'll don that referee shirt to maybe, I don't know, referee the final boss, Asher Christ, for D'Angelo the Flame to open up the historic Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational? Is that what you're telling me right now?
Well, I do have a new jersey coming in soon, and it is black and it is white. So, I mean, it's a possibility.
I mean, that's all you need is a black and white, I mean...
Hey, if you make it happen, this is your day, man. If you make it happen, I'll be there.
Okay, well, all right. Anything else, Mr. Storm, you want to say before we reveal a few other things before we sign off? Because Mr. Wakefield has saved the best for last night. Anything else you'd like to share for us in the audience and such?
Yeah, man, like I said, again, congratulations. Don't get chills, don't get second thoughts. Keep your head up and smile. Cry if you need to, and just be strong, because at the end of the day, you'll have your brothers there.
He's not crying at his wedding. Who cries at a wedding?
I'm gonna cry at my wedding, okay?
I'm not crying. Listen,
it takes a lot for me to cry, but who knows? It might actually happen.
Is your first wedding?
Yeah.
Stop! Oh, yeah, his first wedding. Okay, stand-up comedian. He's a young man. He hasn't been married before. I think his better half is here listening to this.
You're only a couple months older than me.
Yeah, look, trust me. Because this is gonna be my first wedding. I'm gonna cry. Yeah. So listen, you're gonna have your brothers behind you, man. We're gonna drink. We're gonna have a great time afterwards.
Are you getting Copper Dragon?
No, I don't know about that. I don't know about it.
Well, that'd be funny. That would be funny. But
it would be funny.
It would be very funny. But okay, Mr. Storm. I think I'll see you real soon on Sportswire, very soon. And definitely thank you for crashing this wedding invitational. I guess we'll see you there down the road, and maybe you'll bring that referee shirt, and we'll have to stay tuned what's next for you. And I have a feeling I'll see you later this week, good sir.
I hope so.
You
Thank
should.
You for stopping by.
That was Vegas Storm, the ultimate wedding crasher, you might want to say, and Chase Wakefield. I have no more surprise. I realize we do have to get the show on the road and get to the 2 other announcements you have, but this is definitely going to be. You want to be here every month. You're going to be getting tough decisions, because I have a feeling you're going to see others like these guys, James Taylor and Chase. For you, Chase Wakefield, Vegas Storm. These are going to be guys that are going to be here all the time.
Oh, I mean, I'll gladly keep hearing these where's my invites all the time, but you truly have to be, at this point now, you truly have to be someone special to get a consideration.
Well, I think Vegas Storm and James Taylor are special men. James Taylor, 140,000 followers, Vegas Storm protege of Copper Dragon. GWC intensity. I mean, certainly make a name for himself in future Atlanta Pro Wrestling in the past, and he's wrestled some big draws.
Yes, he has.
Okay.
But
And
I think honestly, I think we need to get into the meat and potatoes.
we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that right now. But I do
Okay.
want to say that this person wants to say, I
Mm.
just want to say thank you to everyone for supporting. Well, I thought you guys were just, I thought this was a friend of yours. Apparently, this is
No, this is my beautiful fiance, Janie.
Yes, you're very. I got to be honest. You are the luckiest man in the world because your better half is putting up with this. Your better half is allowing you to go forward. You have to literally worship the ground that your better half is on because to allow you to put this on her special day. I mean,
and the
she
craziest part
should win the
is,
Nobel Peace Prize. This woman should be like Mother Teresa.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, I will say this wasn't even my idea in the first place. This was her idea to do a show.
Wow. Okay. Well, you know what? Yeah, you definitely better marry her. You better marry her
Yeah.
100 times over.
Yes, I'm truly grateful for her willingness to do this.
Well, yes, you definitely have a wife that should be 100 years till you live until 130, whatever it is. I don't know what hypnotic is, but I don't know what it is. But I'll let Brandon Castelli tell me next. Brandon's back on in December, so I'll let Brandon tell me what it is on next appearance. Chase is going to betray you. Nolan Money McDermott still wants his invite, but I know you said you don't know him, but I promise you definitely know him. You'll definitely know who he is.
Yeah,
okay.
I honestly just haven't heard the name at all.
Okay. Well, you know what? Let's get to the meat and potatoes because obviously we're getting toward the end of the show. You're a busy man. You've got wedding planning to do. You've got your other half watching and listening to this. So let me go to something else here, before I do anything else, I want to put this up since you've allowed me to. This is the third component of the 4 rungs of tonight's announcements. And wait a minute. You got this poster that looks like it's right out of a movie. And it's featuring people from places such as DBW, VTW, ROEW. We just saw James Taylor. GTS, the PWF. I know the PWF. I own 1/3 of that. ETTW. I can't read the last one. You have to tell me what that is.
That's NUW.
Okay, thank you for that. I might need my eyes checked. NUW. We certainly know Navon McDonald's promotion. And the GBYWN. I mean, wow. DBW, ROEW, VTW, GTS, ETTW, NUW, the GBYW and the legendary GBYWN and little old me and the PWF. And look at this poster here. I mean, wow. I mean, I'm trying to think of some people that I might know, and
so
there's a lot of people I know.
I can help you out. I can help you out here. We got guys
you might want to, because some of these people, I'm like, wait a minute, I think I know them.
We got Brandon Castelli.
I know him.
Andrew Lovelace, which is
I definitely know him.
We got, of course, the Blaze, Ace Christian. We got D'Lo Smith, Drew Hood, the Stepdads.
Definitely know
Justin
him.
Parsley.
Wait a minute. Time out. Did you just wait a minute? I don't think you should say that name in wrestling right now. Justin Parsley? You sure you want to do that?
Justin Parsley.
You might get canceled if you mention his
poster. Name. Then you also have a little spot next to Jack Delta.
Wait a minute. I don't know who that is. Who is that?
That is a vacant spot.
Is that Nolan Money McDermott? Because that's clever. No.
No. And there's a reason why there's a vacant spot. I took that directly from WWE. Thanks to my graphic editor, who's also my neighbor, Alex.
Oh, that's so kind of you.
He's been helping out with all these match graphics and this poster. But you may be wondering, who is that vacant spot? And
Nolan Money McDermott, obviously. He gets money.
No, it's better. It's better than that. So I created a trailer for the Chase Wakefield Invitational, and I think we should play this trailer before I get to say who that vacant spot is.
I would love to play that trailer because I don't even know what this trailer is. I mean, legitimately speaking, I have no idea what we're about to watch. So everybody knows my policy at this point. When we watch it live, I'm watching it live for the first time. So this is a really interesting thing. We're going to go like this.
I know. Showcase of all the talent that's going to be on the show.
Well, you know what? We're about to watch it, and I know you're going to say, "Well, you've got 200,000 plus emails." Yes, I have a lot of friends. What can I tell you? But we're going to both pause it here for a second because I have to obviously change screens. We're going to use the hockey line change to quote hockey fans here. So we're going to go like this. Go like this. I see you now. And now I'm able to put this up. Now I'm going to put the volume up because we haven't watched it yet. So we're going to go like this. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go hit the sub button for you. You just got a sub. And I'm going to go like this. Wait, I actually now have to go the other way because I went the wrong way. I have to get you on the screen. And ladies and gentlemen, we are now about to watch the first time here live on Sportswire Radio.
First time for everyone.
Official wedding invitational trailer for the Chase Wakefield wedding. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right to it. Wait.
What if I wanted to break, laugh it all off in your face?
Copyright person. Sorry.
Yes,
copyright.
yes. I kind of figured. You're good. It's a good song, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
I actually do like the song, but I can't play it. But wait a minute. You got some big names here. Whoa. Wow. Look at the... Oh, well,
Naeem.
You got Ragdad, I just saw. Ace Christian. I mean, I think I just saw Tyler. There's Brandon Costelli and Asher Christ. I mean, whoa, there is Ace Christian. There is Tyler Aiken. There is, oh my goodness, there's Nikki Chooch. There is Nikki Chooch. There is Austin. There is Austin James. There is Brandon Costelli. Wait, I don't know who that is. I don't know who anything. Oh, there he is, D'Angelo LaFlame. And wow, I mean, we're just going right through the line here, and there it is. I mean, just everybody here. You gave yourself an extra one here, but obviously here, wow. Okay, well that's going to be certainly leave a mark. And there is, I don't. Well, yeah. Well, that was you with when you had hair. Well, longer hair.
It's growing back again.
You should grow it. You should go it back to long. But that's a different point for a different time. And oh my God, D'Angelo LaFlame. I don't know how he does this. I just don't know still how he does this here.
He's a phenomenal guy.
I mean, and there's Jack Delta. Wait a minute. Wait
a second.
Oh my God! Wait a minute. No way. You couldn't have made this happen. Are we watching this, or is this isn't real, right? This isn't the person.
Oh, it is.
No. It is. Oh my goodness. I mean, this. Are you sure? I mean, am I watching something? Did I get the wrong tape?
No. Your eyes do not deceive you, Tom. That is exactly who you think it is.
Oh my goodness. Oh my God. I don't know how did you? I mean, ladies and gentlemen, this is just one for the ages, and you have to talk about how did you just pull this off? I mean. I didn't see this one coming. Nobody saw this one coming. I mean, you want to talk about legends? You want to talk about legends of the yard, but you just pull. I mean, oh my goodness. How did you do this?
Man, as you saw there, ladies and gentlemen, it is confirmed that Matt DeMorris will be at the wedding. And it all started when he posted on Instagram saying he's going back for one more run.
I did see that. No, I did see that.
So I shot him a little DM. I've talked to him in the past before, and he remembered me, and he loved the idea, especially a backyard wedding wrestling show, and he's all for it. And Tom, I'm not done there yet. I'm not done.
You're not. Wait a minute. You're not done?
No, I am not done because I was always known for dropping bombshells.
You've definitely done that here over the past, yeah.
And a lot of these times it's always been negative, but this time I'm dropping a positive bombshell here. Because you will see in the main event of the Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational, you will see Matt DeMorris take on myself, Chase Wakefield.
Whoa! No, wait. Say that again. Time out. Chase Wakefield, the Bitcoin billionaire, you're wrestling the legendary Matt DeMorris in the main event?
Yes, sir. And you talk about once in a lifetime matches. This is truly a once in a lifetime match because we're never going to be seeing DeMorris after next year. We won't be seeing him because he'll be done. So I figure I didn't have a match prior to his announcement, so I figure why not make this show even bigger and better? And that's why I went with DeMorris versus Wakefield.
You want to talk about life flashing before your own very eyes? You literally pulled one that I don't know anybody could have pulled this one off. This is just one. I mean, you want to talk about upset of the century? You want to talk about comebacks? Everybody's talking about political comebacks right now. Everybody's talking about how they broke the blue wall. Well, Chase Wakefield, the Bitcoin billionaire, you literally broke the fourth wall, and you literally broke the backyard wrestling wall, and you broke it in half because you're going to wrestle in the main event for your wedding invitational, the best night of your life. It's going to be even greater. You're going to probably make backyard, underground, independent, pro, and all of wrestling even better again by wrestling the one and only iconic Matt DeMorris in the main event of your wedding invitational. Oh my God. OMG.
Man, it's still surreal talking about this match. I will say Matt DeMorris was actually the very first backyard wrestler I had ever watched when it comes to backyard wrestling. I didn't know what backyard wrestling was at the time. I saw
Rick spoke about him when he's been here before. So is Rad Dad, absolutely, or Rad Hazard.
I've always seen like KBW on like YouTube recommendations, but I always saw that as trampoline wrestling. I was a big WWE fan at the time, so I was like, it's just kids jumping on a trampoline at the time. And then my friend showed me Matt DeMorris versus MX5 at NYE. And that match blew me away, and it truly got me into backyard wrestling as a whole. And if it wasn't for Matt DeMorris, Chase Wakefield wouldn't be here. So I figured, why not the biggest night of my life? Why not do this in front of my beautiful fiance, give one of the best matches I will ever do in front of everyone that I love.
You're never going to be the same after this. You're literally never going to be the same, period, because you're getting married. Then on top of that, you've got to wrestle in the main event. You know, you want to talk about pressure of getting married, right? Not only that, you're wrestling the main event against a man that is one of the very greatest of a generation. You want to talk about pressure? You might be under as much pressure as, I don't know, the 47th President of the United States coming up. That's what it sounds like to me, good sir.
I'm honestly so excited, and I'm just ready for the show to really show people what a super show is capable of when you have the right people and you gain connections with the right talent. And I think in due time, this show will be absolutely worth the wait, just because of just those 3 matches alone. Nevertheless, the other 5 that I still had to announce.
And you said you're a regular now on Sportzwire. I mean, to the fact that you're going to wrestle one of the greatest wrestlers of a generation.
I think, man, period.
Listen, you're wrestling somebody generational. You know, it's one thing. We talk about LaFlame and Asher Christ. And again, incredible matchup. We talk about the Bad Sons and the Stepdads. Incredible matchup. Not taking away anything from them. But you're wrestling in a main event against a man that's generational. He's iconic. He influenced hundreds upon hundreds of wrestlers. I mean, that's no small feat. And on top of that, this is the day that you are getting married. I cry uncle.
It's a lot of nerves, I will say. But nevertheless, I'm just very excited for it.
You better be excited about it because you'll never top this again. in your wrestling career. I mean, just unbelievable. We just watched the Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational trailer. We saw a whole bunch of names, many of them who are familiar on Sportswire Radio. But on top of that, it is now announced in the main event of the Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational, we're going to see Matt DeMorris versus the soon-to-be married made man, the Bitcoin billionaire, Chase Wakefield. I don't know how this man pulled that rabbit out of a hat. He did that, and he did something that I don't know anybody could top. You know, you want to talk about super shows. You want to talk about history. And I know that Sick Rick's going to be here to talk about that very soon on Sportswire. I know Rad Dad's going to be back. We're just waiting for the GBYWN reunion show to be posted so we can talk about that with him. But to be able to see you wrestle Matt DeMorris, I mean, it's generational. You certainly, Chase Wakefield, you are looking to have one of the greatest wrestling super shows in history. Well, you know what? You got a real good shot at it. You got a shot, man. What you just did here tonight, and we got 5 more matches to announce. You're going to be here every month these next several months. I mean, that's just the wild thing about it. I mean, and you had a big turnout. You had people come in and basically introduce themselves. You've had surprise after surprise, comment after comment. This is what you wanted. I mean, you're going to have grace. To quote Rush, you're going to have a lot of grace under pressure. You better have some grace under pressure because you're going to be getting that pressure month after month because you're going to have match after match to announce this person and this person. I want to be a part of it. I want to be there. Vegas Storm, I just want to show up. James Taylor, I should bring a chair. You got Omen Black and Soldier GP who were here. Jacob Frost, Nolan Money McDermott is lurking around. I mean, you got Andre Anamali. You got even people you can't even mention. Brandon Costelli, Silas Walker, Big Tex, Ox McCoy. I mean, you know, it's a long list of other people. Nicholas Crenton was here. So I really hope, Chase Wakefield, that you're prepared for this pressure. I hope you and Musk had a conversation, a chit-chat about this because I think we've only scratched the surface for this. We've only scratched the surface. And this is just only the beginning. It's only the beginning here. And I can't wait for it. Well, I can't wait for it. I can't wait for it. And ladies and gentlemen, before we get ready to close the show, I want to recap a couple of things here first. We announced here 2 matches before we get to the main event. We're going to have here to open the show for the historic Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational. It's going to be the final boss, Asher Christ, against D'Angelo the Flame, the Real Raw Energy. We also have the Bad Sons, the team of Tyler Haken and Ecstatic against the Stepdads, Papa Bear and certainly Rad Dad, a man we know very well. And also announced in the main event, the man that is getting married here, the most important day of his life. Not only is he getting married, he's wrestling in the main event against one of the most iconic wrestlers in backyard, even wrestling history, and Matt DeMorris. That is Chase Wakefield. Plus, we saw the poster reveal of a slew of talents, so many that are Sportswire Radio usuals, and even people that have been invited who aren't showing up to wrestle. They're going to be there, and you've got to be here. You got to be here throughout the next several weeks and months. We're going to be talking about it every night on Sportswire, wrestler after wrestler. At this point, I really hope, Chase Wakefield, you've got $1 billion in your bank account because you're going to need it to foot the bill for all these wrestlers that want to be there, and certainly, hopefully, these wrestlers bring some gifts and everything else in between because I know what my mother spent on her most recent wedding, and it was a lot of money. Now, luckily, she made her money back and some. We know people in the community. But I can tell you, I hope you have the same luck. But Jacob Frost would like to say, I saw a couple of familiar faces in that trailer too. And I'm sure we'll be talking about some of those GBYWN names. I think we will. And Sick Rick's going to be here soon. I think he's here next Tuesday or the following Tuesday to talk about this. And I'm going to ask Mr. Rick. I'm going to ask him. And I'll ask some other names. Everybody I'll ask. I'll make sure everybody knows, even worldwide wrestlers. I'll ask them too. Maybe they want to come. I don't know. Maybe Copper Dragon should show up. Maybe Heshi Tischler should show up. I don't know. We'll just.
Hey, I might even get 7 stories from Copper Dragon after he sees.
I'm gonna ask him. I'm gonna ask him about this. You better believe it. I mean, I saw names everywhere and just anywhere and everywhere. Before we sign off, is there anything else, sir, you want to say before we close the show? Anything else I'm missing here?
No, not really. I think we covered everything. I think it's been a very historic night here at Sportswire Radio.
What a big turnout, big crowd tonight. A lot of energy, a lot of real raw energy, and we had people from all over the circuit. And I think I'm very excited about this. We have a lot to talk about here over the next several months, and I'm excited. So I think I'm going to put up the Instagram page here one more time. In case we see anybody else, they'll have to speak their piece before we sign off. But until then, I'm going to give you the floor, and let's see if we have anything else in store. But until then, I pass the baton to you and give you some closing thoughts and anything else you want to plug, share, or say in this rather historic Sportswire radio show tonight, Chase Wakefield.
Well, if you don't know who I am, of course, I am Chase Wakefield. I'm hosting a little show for my wedding. We're calling it the Super Show of all Super Shows for a reason. And you just saw the opener in the main event and another match as well. And I think the show is really going to deliver the name Super Show of Super Shows. And I will promise it will be worth the wait.
The best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. And I think that this is going to be that. I think you want to follow Chase Wakefield on Instagram. Any post on the Instagram page, add me as a collaborator. I will certainly add them here. And we have a lot to talk about here over the next coming weeks and months. And your favorite stars, we've already got 5 matches announced with 5 more to go. It's going to be, let me just say, a Donnybrook. This very well could be the greatest wrestling super show in history. It's always no small feat to do that, but it looks like here we'll have to find out. And certainly, please follow Chase. Follow all the great things he does. And you can check him out in VTW. I think I can check you out in DBW. The very least I can see you in the audience. I mean, I could definitely see you on Thunder Punch in the audience. We'll have to see.
I will be on DBW pretty soon.
All right. Well, don't spoil it for us because I'm sure I'll watch Thunder Punch and I don't want the locker room to know what the outcome is because I don't even know what the outcome is. Maybe they don't even know either. But definitely we want to thank everybody that's tuned in. This was Chase Wakefield, the soon-to-be married man next year. He basically, as we talked about throughout the show, talked about his historic wrestling super show, the Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice, figuratively and literally, where all wrestling matters. We were also joined here with cameos from James Taylor, ROEW owner, and Vegas Storm, the ultimate wedding crasher, the ultimate Storm. And we'll be back here twice tomorrow. I'll be here at 4:30 with Maxwell Reeves. And I'll be here around 8:30 tomorrow with Jake Dvorak in your chair of NEW. So speaking of cohorts of yours in the same tri-state area, we'll have his side of the story and more. And Friday, I'll be here at 10 o'clock with the slew of guys competing in another super show, one that was my idea, the Backyard Havoc in Bremen, Ohio. So super shows galore on Sportswire. Jake, of course, was the guy behind the All Wrestling Matters Hardcore Tournament and the Riot in the Ring. So a lot of great stuff. Thank you so much, everybody here, for tuning in. What a great night it was on Sportswire, but what a great day it was. We were so honored to be joined by the CCW Tag Team Champions to kick the day off, Alpha A-Dog and Rico Justice, and we were here with Chase Wakefield. And again, my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce. You have voiced figuratively and literally. We're All Wrestling Matters. And until then, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, on the number one global radio station that is All Wrestling Matters of Sportswire.